statement, oh, I think that last Thursday. And to show you the arrogance, they told us twice in the letter, as the Assemblyman said, that they were sending this to us as a courtesy. But they wanted a reply from us by within a week, the 4th of July holiday week. So Vinny worked really hard with some assistance from me and from the other members of the Executive Committee and our Homeless Services Committee to put something together. And there are all sorts, if anybody has seen this environmental assessment statement, there are all sorts of holes in the statement. And they basically disregard the fact that the environmental issues, which I think are the paramount issues with regard to fighting this whole thing, that it is next to a chemical storage and distribution facility. That's totally glossed over in their environmental assessment. And I said it before, that this whole process seems to me to be at least very questionable and is the worst that I've seen of government in the 25 years that I've been here. Now I know that the city legally has a mandate to house homeless people, which many other cities do not have. So that is the beginning of the issue as far as, you know, how we get to this point. We had a meeting last night with our own people. We talked about organizing to take legal action. While I can appreciate what the Assemblyman said, I don't think that any of us have near given up with regard to this issue. And we're even talking about fundraising in an effort to take legal action to try to stop this. But this is like dealing, so far, this is like dealing with a communist state. This is like dealing with the Gestapo. This is like dealing with the Cosa Nostra. This is a whole different ball game. It's crazy. From anything that I've had to overcome or try to change in the 25 years I've been here. A lot of this, in my opinion, is in the hands of the mayor. And anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, the elected officials. The Department of Homeless Services Commissioner is appointed by the mayor. So I would ask you to write as diplomatically as possible, to email the mayor's office, to write to the mayor, because the Department of Homeless Services is under the jurisdiction of the mayor. Now I know they're desperate to house people, but this is an insane place for a whole host of reasons. And I think the main reasons are environmental. And then when people walk out of there, because in my opinion, we're never going to win this fight by saying our schools are overcrowded. This is the city of New York. They can bust these kids anywhere they please. They just take money from one pot and put it into another. But they can't get away, unless they try to buy them out, from the fact that this place is next to a chemicals storage and distribution facility. And who would want to live next to that, or who should be living next to that? I said it before and I'll say it again, I wouldn't even live there for free. So I think we're looking at taking legal action, and even if they start construction, I think we need to do that, because this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen the city of New York do. But, you know, these days nothing astounds me. But in as diplomatic a fashion as possible, without coming off, you know, like somebody could make us out for a bunch of hateful redneck people, get after the mayor. That's my suggestion in the short term. But we're certainly looking at organizing to take legal action and fundraising to do so. But so far, we've all been ignored. Even the elected officials have all been ignored. That's about what I could tell you tonight. And I'm sorry that this seems like it's inevitable, but I'm not sure that it has to be inevitable. I do think that if any future protests are organized, they need to be orderly, and I don't think they need to take place at that site. I think one of the bad things that happened is the big protest that took place with regard to the site that they lied straight to us about, the Pan Am Motor Inn, where we used to go to the ground floor pool when I was a kid. And they told us at the hearing we had on May 22nd that they had no intention of putting people into that site because it didn't even have kitchens. And then find out within weeks they're putting people into that site. So far they've been a bunch of liars. And who knows who, I think somebody said this before, who knows who is connected to who the landlord is connected to, who the members of the board of directors of Samaritan Village are connected to. I mean, I can tell you this, on a whole other matter, on another place we fought successfully, and I won't even mention it, and I think our local elected officials are honest. Certainly I think they're more honest than most of the bunch. But another place we fought, for one example, okay, people who we know to be directly involved in financing this place that we fought against and were successful so far, 3 different members of the same family gave 17 pages of contributions to elected officials. And 40 grand in 3 contributions to the governor. So that's unfortunately part of what we're dealing with. Who knows who here? So I'm not going to, hold back. Unless they got a gun, I'm here. So you're right. Now that this whole environmental assessment situation is out and they're not listening, well, we'll see if they listen. Because the holes in this thing are huge. Vinny just picked out one thing, and I saw a lot of it too, but he did most of the writing of the response. There's one thing after another that they either gloss over or they have inaccurate, incomplete information about some very serious subjects. You can all, I guess one good way for us to communicate, and I'm sorry people left, but we do have to conduct board business as well. I think one way you can communicate is you can email us, okay? You can call us, you can email us. I don't think we can spend a lot of time. The more time we spend on the phone, I mean, I'd love to spend a lot of time on the phone with everyone, but the more time we spend on the phone, the less time we can spend organizing. But our email address is qnscb5@nyc.rr.com. And we will do our best to keep in touch with you, and we're going to try to get organized here. Because I, for one, don't want to tolerate what they seem to be, overwhelmingly having desire to shove down people's throats in this community. And I don't think anybody should be living next to that, in that place, next to that hazardous materials site. Thank you.
We'll go to committee reports because that's how we do our business. The first committee is Park Services.